Good morning, hockey fans. It's time for your morning ice. What's going on, everybody? This is In the Crease. Time to see a little bit of morning ice for you. We're going to be touching on a lot of subjects today with one dead on Dave. But before that, let's get into last night's preseason scores. The New York Rangers go down 2-4 in Philadelphia by Philadelphia in a preseason spectacular. The New York Islanders take the Boston Bruins in Boston 5-3. The Carolina Hurricanes go down to the St. Louis Blues 3-1. The Winnipeg Jets, a game I actually watched for a little bit, take down Ottawa 2-1. Big shout out to Terry in Winnipeg. And the Tampa Bay Lightning take down the D 5-1. They take the Dallas Stars. They don't take the D, they give it to the D. 5-1 in Dallas. Colorado gets blanked by Calgary. And the Los Angeles Kings do to the San Jose Sharks what they're probably going to do most of the season next year. They take San Jose 4-1. And that's our NHL scores. With me, as usual, pop up there. 1, 2, 3, there he is. It's none other than Chicago Dead on Dave to do the morning ice. What's happening, big man?
What's going on, baby?
Are you pumped up?
I'm always
Now we got a
pumped
daily podcast.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking roll.
Ice.
It's pure rock and roll. If you want to give us a call, you can give us a call at 718-395-7660, 718-395-7660. Skype us at Shot from the Point. Right here on the Shot from the Point channel. That's it. What's going on, brother? Ugh.
I'm chilling like a villain. Welcome back to Deutschland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. We haven't talked. And I had a birthday. You believe that?
Yeah, I know. Happy birthday, you old geezer.
Yeah, God, isn't that awful? 34 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. You want to hear the funny part? I actually made a mistake, honestly, when I said that. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, God, dementia's really setting in. That's not good.
Oh, Jesus Christmas.
That's great.
Our topic today is going to be one of from Mr. Well, you know what? I think this episode is going to surprise a lot of yous. Drew Doughty made a interesting comment that was like, yeah, go Drew Doughty. And then I started thinking about it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, right. And let's turn. Am I having trouble hearing you? Maybe I should give you a little volume boost here on Skype. I think I should. Audio settings, bum. We're gonna give you one more up. I don't know if it's gonna screw things up or not, but I'm giving you a little more volume boost there. Well, anyway, I'm going to Drew Doughty. Let me get a hold of his actual entire quote. He was talking about, I think it's Corsi. Am I saying that correctly there, Dead on Dave?
Corsi.
It's a new advanced stat. And here's what the king of Corsi, Drew Doughty of the Los Angeles Kings, Stanley Cup champion Los Angeles Kings, had to say. Yeah, I think the Corsi thing is a bunch of crap, personally. That's not to take away from Muzz being my top guy in the league, because Muzz is a really good player. He's improved so much over the last few years. He's just going to improve even more and become better. Me and Muzz have it on our minds that we're going to be the best D pairings in the league one day. I don't know if they already are, to be honest with you. So we're going to work towards that. So a little evidence that the players aren't paying much attention to the whole advanced stats thing going on. But, as this article, and I'll tell you who wrote it in a second. I think it's John Rosen, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry, Thomas Drance from thescore.com. Very good website, by the way. I really, really highly recommend it. But the thing is, I started thinking about this, and I'm as a lot of fans know that maybe I don't know. Shot from the Point might seem like a place where we're sort of anti-advanced stats. My thing is I'm skeptical about it, but I'm open to it because I want to see the results. I'm not going to sit there and flush it down the toilet simply because that was the reaction of Major League Baseball when certain type of analytics started coming to league, and they turned out that they actually worked. I don't know if that's going to be different. I mean, baseball's a turn-based game, hockey isn't. But here's the interesting thing: Doughty leads in this particular stat, and what gets me about it is, we're always saying, like, how do the Kings do it? They're not terribly. Talent is the wrong word, but they're not. There's no real superstars. Me and you have had this confrontation before, and that's kind of the whole thing behind the advanced stats movement in Major League Baseball. That you could get that we are focusing on the wrong stats. So if you're focusing on goals scored, if you're focusing on assists for a defenseman or plus minus, we're focusing on the wrong thing. If he leads. And we can't figure out why the Los Angeles Kings keep winning without major superstars. Not that Doughty's not a superstar, but it's more how he shuts down the opposing offense rather than actually being an offensive presence.
Real quick to interject just a little bit. I think we're using the wrong term in superstar because they have superstars. They don't have an elite scorer or an elite defender. They have an elite goalie at times.
100% correct. No,
I think just to put a little context there.
No, I absolutely needed to be corrected, and I think in more that I really couldn't come up with the words. But it's so weird because you see the Los Angeles Kings, and sometimes you wonder how they win, and sometimes they're shaky. But maybe, and I'm not saying I'm 100% sold yet. Look, the Los Angeles Kings win this year. They're dynasty in the modern era. There's no doubt about it. I know you don't like hearing that as a Chicago Blackhawks fan, but it's undeniable. You also can make the same case.
You got to make the same argument the Hawks win
again. Absolutely. But the Hawks are a more traditional firepower, bruising defense. I mean, the Hawks just do everything right, but they can be beat. They're not unbeatable as we've seen.
Well, that's hockey.
That's the great
beauty
thing
of
about
hockey.
it. Pretty much any team can beat anybody on any given night, and I think that's also has to do with the fact that it's a goal post to post type sport. But I mean, this made me start thinking maybe this stat means something. If the Los Angeles Kings, who don't win in a traditional manner, are able to do it. Now, you're probably, especially with the title of this broadcast, you're probably wondering that I was going to jump on it. Look, my reaction was like, yeah, screw the advanced stats guys, because I got to be honest with you, I find them annoying. And look, one of the great things about sports is it's not like politics or anything else where you can say you believe in something forever and you can say something's true when it isn't. At the end of the day, you got to win. And the Los Angeles Kings have done that. I think maybe anti-advanced stats guy or guys that are skeptical like me would point to, lost to Sutter there behind the bench. I think he's an elite coach, and that's one of the reasons I explained their victory. But maybe it's not just that. Maybe it's not so much that. I think it's not so much, especially in baseball. We were focusing on the wrong stats all along. And maybe that's the case with the National Hockey League. We're focusing on maybe possibly the wrong stats, and this is pretty much the first major proof that I've seen that maybe that's the case. So what do you think, Dave?
Well, here's what I think about it. It seems right now in hockey that they're focusing on one major stat as what we have been ignoring, and that's where the whole Corsi thing comes in, and that's puck possession, which seems kind of rudimentary to me because, it seems like a pretty big thing. If you hold the puck and you're more aggressive with the puck and you're moving the puck around in the zones properly, you're going to have more success. In theory, it would seem. In baseball, there was just so many things that were being overlooked. And that's where the advanced statisticians were really making their money. See, here's the thing in hockey. If you either produce or you don't, and if you do, none of this shit is going to matter. So in Doughty's case, I don't understand why even speaking about it. Let the nerds have their numbers. Yeah. Over time, they're going to find out that there are just too many variables that are not quantifiable in hockey for advanced stats to really work like they do in baseball.
Well, I don't know if they'll work like they will in baseball, but that's what I'm not looking for. I'm looking for look, if the advanced stats work, coaches, managers, and players will possibly change their name because different things will become priorities. And if this is the case, I could never figure out Drew Doughty. Maybe I'm like I said, I'm not sold on it, but maybe we are looking at the game the wrong way. And if we're looking at the game the wrong way, possibly we're playing the game the wrong way. So, and I can't figure out why the Kings win all the goddamn time. I can't figure it out. It's beyond me sometimes. And maybe this is the reason. And I don't want to be one of those guys I don't want to be one of those old fogies that just pass it off.
You don't want to be dismissive. Yeah,
I don't want to be
I
dismissive of it.
understand
I
that.
think that's ignorant, and
It is.
but I don't want to also come at. Look, I do. My heart tells me this game is played in the ice by tough men, working hard, getting the puck deep, getting it towards the net is the most important. And one of the things these advanced stats don't really take into consideration, and as an average they do. Look, Patrick Kane is going to be able to move in on a Florida defense a lot easier than he's going to be able to move in on a LA Kings defense, because the LA Kings defense is just simply more talented. It's just, at the end of the day, they're simply more talented. Maybe that's because Doughty unwittingly lends himself to this particular stat, Corsi, which now I'm actually getting interested. So maybe I actually might take the time. Maybe I might actually take the time to give this a lot more consideration. Anything else in this, Dave?
It just seems, as of right now, there's not any big things that are. There's nothing that the statisticians are coming out and saying it's this. In baseball, it was OPS. Mm-hmm. Here, we don't have that yet.
No, we don't.
They're being very ambiguous with this whole puck possession thing. What the fuck does that mean? Mm-hmm. Once they can point to something, mm-hmm. and until they can do that, then I think we have nothing. But
okay,
it could happen.
Sure, fair enough.
There's probably something there. There's always new discoveries in science, in the world, and fucking in nature. There's always new discoveries. So why not looking at hockey a little bit different too?
Sure,
nothing wrong with that.
I don't think. Actually, I lost you on screen for a minute. I'm sorry, because I was looking at Jeff the Huffman.
Oh, don't deprive the people of my beauty.
I took you off camera, and I apologize. I saw something by Jeff. The problem is, and I don't know if you can do this at your end. I can't look at. I'm talking to listeners too. I can't look just because of the way things work in Germany, and Dave really can't do it either without going through a proxy and all that stuff. We can't look at the posted comments. Also, interestingly enough,
there you go.
In the Crease episode yesterday, for some reason they still haven't posted the live comments. I haven't seen any of them, so I know people have been posting. I know people have opinions. Please don't think that I'm ignoring you. We just can't, because of Germany's insane YouTube rules, and it's from the state. It's not just something YouTube does. We can't actually look at your comments, and if we could, and sometimes I can, if I do some things, then I can post and what have you. It's kind of a pain in the ass, and it eats up bandwidth. And
if you know a good proxy server out there that's not going to take complete control of my damn computer, let me know.
What about Holla Better Internet? Have you looked that up? It's actually in the Google Plus or the Google Play.
I haven't used that one yet.
Yeah, give that one a shot. It wasn't working before I went to the States, but now it seems to be working a lot better.
The comments have loaded on the page, but there's only one, and it's yours.
Oh, is it? Well, that's good. Well, I mean, it looks like we have a handful of listeners here, at least from what I can see. We got 4 listeners.
Oh no, I mean on the yesterday's video.
On yesterday's, but no, I can see it on my side. It's 13 when I open the page up. It's not there.
Okay. Well, fuck me then.
So yeah, I mean, I can see why you came to that conclusion. I can see when you came to that conclusion. Okay, second half of the show, we're gonna get into Dave's gambling problem. No, we're not.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're gonna talk about the odds of winning the Stanley Cup. I'm gonna put it up here for you. 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and I got this page. This comes from Vegas Insider. Do you trust this site, Dave? You gambling free?
Well, I lived in Vegas, so anything that has the word Vegas on it, I'm down with it.
Yeah, you're okay. All right, so you don't know this website? All right, let me check this out here. All right, and maybe you can explain this because I don't know much about sports betting and what have you. But of course, for the second year in a row, the Chicago Blackhawks have 6-1 odds, 6-1 odds to win the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Ahead of, and maybe you can explain this to me, the Los Angeles Kings, who are 15-2. What does that mean? Okay,
basically 15-2 is essentially the same thing as 7.5 to 1 odds. It's basically the same thing. It's stupid. For every $15 that you bet, for every $2 that you bet, you get $15 back.
Oh, really?
No, that's not right. I don't know what the hell
explain this. Are you sure you got this right?
No, I don't have that right.
No? Oh, that's unfortunate. so what is it? Don't tell me you're gonna have to go on. You have to Google this shit.
I might have to Google 15.
Ah, God.
Well, you just completely ambushed me with that question.
I just thought you were a bigger gambling fool than I thought.
I played parlay
Well,
cards when
we
I was
go over
18.
that. Okay, Chicago Blackhawks. They're obviously first. Boston Bruins. They're in third here. 8-1, I guess. Whatever the hell that means. I'm not a big gambler, but I want to be. We got 8-1 odds for the Boston Bruins ahead of the Ducks, the Penguins, and the Wild. The Wild are actually highly up there, ahead of the Tampa Bay Lightning, which I think is ridiculous. The
Yeah, that's
Wild
a
are
little
ahead of the
weird.
Blues, the Sharks, which is understandable, the Lightning, and the Canadians. And I know they made some improvements over there, but that's really going to depend on their goaltending, whether they're going to go run deep in the final. But they did. I'm thinking they got this bump because they knocked off Colorado last year, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sorry,
knocked off.
I'm completely
Am I
out of
am
it.
I am I losing
Oh,
my
I
mind?
was right. I was right. Okay, it's 7.5 to 1. It's the exact same.
Zach says, so
So
for every $2 you bet, you get 15 back on the Los
if
Angeles Kings.
if
15 to
you
2.
make a bet of $5, your return would be $37.5.
Oh, $37.5. Okay, so you got this. But
It's the
everything
same
after
odds as 7.5 to 1.
well, the Sharks are everything after the Ducks and the Penguins, which is 10-1. So that's for every $1 you bet, you get 10 back.
Yeah, 10 to 1.
10 to
Yeah.
1. Everything after that is a 12-1, 14-1, and then it's pretty much same for like the Rangers, 25-1 to return. And then of course the bottom dweller teams, the Islanders, 65-1. I tell you, Jonathan Tavares, the Derek Jeter
Yup.
of the National Hockey League in a lot of ways. Would you agree with me on that, especially with attitude and the way he takes on the game and his
I think the
talent
way he's
level?
played the game, and
Yeah.
it's the close. It's hard to say anyone's a Jeter of that, but yeah, he's probably the closest we got.
I do. I do. I think it's funny. You're talking to I'm a diehard Ranger fan. I hate the Islanders, but he's a very difficult guy not to like. I think he's potentially a future. Provided he stays healthy, I think he's a future Hall of Famer.
They were gonna say a fugitive. I was like, oh shit, was this
He
the
may be a
NFL?
fugitive. Well, we're not in the NFL. We're not talking about the NFL here. No, I think potentially he's a future Hall of Famer. I generally I like the way he takes on the game. I like his talent. He's got smooth moves. He's got great chemistry with Kyle Oposo. I think I see the New York Islanders this year actually making it in. I did say that last year as well, but I just don't. I think and I think they were on pace up until the injury that Tavares Jonathan received in the Olympics, which is really unfortunate. But that's part of the risk you take when you go into the Olympics and what have you. So no,
I think it's hard to tell what the Islanders are going to do, but yeah, I think they could be a good team this year.
I do. I think they could be a great team. I mean, I hope they're not. I mean, but I just here's the thing with me, because look, I'm a huge Ranger fan, but there is a health of the league aspect, and basically health of hockey where I'm in the area that I'm from. With the Islanders, the Devils, and the Rangers being so close together, it's probably better for hockey if that New York area has three strong teams.
It
three
is.
strong, well-supported
Major
teams.
markets having good teams is always good for the sport.
And you think about the Islanders and how they basically in 10 years became a dynasty with some of the greatest players that ever to lace up skates, only really to be taken out by the Edmonton Oilers dynasty. Brian Trottier, Mike Bossy. It's even as a Ranger fan, them bottom dwelling is not healthy. It's not healthy. This was an elite franchise when I was a kid, an elite franchise. And ever since the Edmonton Oilers have beat them, they've gone from dynasty to competitive to total and complete joke. Jonathan Tavares is the light at the end of the tunnel for the New York Islanders. I know we've heard that before, but Tavares has actually proved that he's one of the top players in the National Hockey League that could start nipping at guys' heels like Steve Stamkos, like Sidney Crosby, like Alexander Ovechkin. Yes, I think he has that talent level and that potential. He's only been in the league a few years, and I think it just remains to be seen whether he has the leadership or he's able to put a team on his back. The Islanders, that being said, the Islanders must get better. Their move to Brooklyn must be a strong one. They must be well supported in Brooklyn. I think it's great to have a hockey team in Brooklyn, and just two hockey teams in New York City. It makes me great. It makes me feel good that hockey's getting so big in the East Coast, especially the area that I'm from. So I want to beat you, but as a fan, the National Hockey League, I want to see the Islanders at very least be competitive. Does that sound weird?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because you're looking at the bigger picture here, which is a good thing. And as far as Tavares goes, man, he's 24.
He's kiddo.
He's a kid. He's
kiddo.
24, but he seems to have that as you put the Jeter-esque quality that you look for. He seems to play the game the right way.
Good kid.
He's 24, and he's a top 5 captain in the league, arguably. He leads his team the right way. You know how hard it is to be a captain at 24?
Yeah, I don't think
a particularly young team. The Islanders are not a super young team.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that the Islanders they've had bad breaks and of course, bad management decisions. What does Joe Cronin say? If you don't really need to be a comedian anymore, all you have to do is go on stage and say Rick DiPietro. The Islanders have been plagued with stuff like that, with like the DiPietro move, bringing Alexei Yashin in years ago. I mean, it's just one thing has been horrible. And to be honest with you, I know Jersey Jason Lech disagrees with me. I think the better rivalry. Maybe not in the last 2 years, but basically with the Avery incident and the Eastern Conference Final in 2012, the Rangers-Devils rivalry is actually a stronger rivalry.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, the Rangers actually hate the players in the Islanders more than they hate the Devils.
But back in the day, the Rangers kind of hated everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think for recent years it's been the Flyers and it's been the Devils. And when I was a kid, it was simply the Islanders. You didn't care if you lost every game all year. You just wanted to beat those New York Islanders. And actually, Jonathan Tavares makes that very difficult to feel. Maybe because I know more. I guess I know. I've always known more Islander fans. But I've known more Devil fans. But he's I don't know. I like the kid. And unlike Derek Jeter, who I'm making a comparison to that's probably aggravating everywhere. Jeter had kind of a team built around him. He's very lucky that all these young guys were on the same team. I can't stop talking about Jeter. That being said, and I actually just thought of this now.
It's an end of an era.
It might free the city. Did you see the Islanders had a preseason game in the new Barclays Center in Brooklyn? And I'm going to call this up now. Hopefully it won't slow down the machine. Islanders, Brooklyn. You got to see. I don't know if you've seen. I think I put it on. I put it on the website. I got to see this. Oh man, I got to find this. The Islanders. Oh, that's funny. Somebody's making some Brooklyn hipsters. That's funny. Fucking God. That place is. Oh, here it is. Oh God, I got it for you. It's up there. Oh, it's got to get bigger though. Give me a full picture. Come on, Google. You can do it. You can do it. Let's get the webpage up there. You got to see this. It's actually a different shot that's been floating around the internet. The scoreboard is not square. The scoreboard is not square with center ice. It looks so freaking bizarre. You can see it right now if you're watching shot from the in the crease, morning ice. Yeah. Well, I mean, I say that sentence so much. No, you can see on there that it's actually not centered. It looks awful. If you have OCD, you're going to go insane going to the game. It looks so bizarre because from what I understand, that while Barclays is a first-rate facility, it's actually a smaller than most seats-wise in the league. And I guess it was sort of built with basketball in mind. But I mean, Dave, if you could see this, it's totally.
I can't see the picture.
It's totally funny. Okay. You got to do a search for it in the internet.
I
don't think there's much they can do about it either, because I think the way the other stadiums are built, the scoreboard is supposed to be centered with the basketball court and center ice. When they put the like so many leagues have basketball teams where their hockey teams are, and if you look at this, I mean, it's just simply a freaking riot.
Yeah,
so I'm going to say something nice about the Islanders.
Type in. Oh, I see it. It looks crazy.
It looks
so stupid.
Let
me Google it. I'm Googling it.
Oh, it's just.
I don't want to reach for my keyboard. It's over there.
Oh, it's
like right here.
It's horribly comical. What have you? What else you got, Dave? Anything else on your mind? We got about 3 minutes left.
As far as hockey or the world? Because I got this
I don't
boil
think
on
we
my
got time
foot.
for. I don't know if we got time for a world conversation.
Because I got a
What? Is
boil
there
on
anything?
my foot, and it's bugging me, and I don't know what to do with it.
I'm
No,
ready.
you know what? I do want to bring up something real quick.
Sure.
Since I don't know if we're doing this from the last show that we were doing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Before you left, but I got a couple news stories real quick. I could touch on one really.
Sure. Go ahead.
Over the weekend, something big happened in the world of television. One of the biggest crossovers in history.
Oh, I should introduce this, by the way. This is Dave's Nerd News. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I should have like Dave's Nerd News. So we're gonna move from hockey in the last couple of minutes. Dave's gonna do his Nerd News. You should have told me, and then I'd introduce it. But go right ahead. I want to hear your nerd news, your nerdy news.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I stepped on you like that.
You just flattened my tire.
Go ahead. I know.
Over the weekend on Sunday, there was the Simpsons Family Guy crossover episode that everyone was dreading / excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it, and I did not hate it. And that's probably the best thing I could say about it.
I hated it, and I didn't watch it.
Well, no shit, you hated it. What? But it wasn't bad. It had some moments that were really funny. It was a nostalgia-based episode, which is kind of Family Guy's thing anyway. But neither show has been funny in a long time. And the interesting thing that happened is it happened on the Family Guy episode, and it is the highest-rated Family Guy episode in over 4 years.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have just like had a comic book or slaughter of each other. And
That'd be cool. They're doing two
if they
more
ended the show the
crossovers.
same day, that would have been awesome.
The Simpsons are doing 2 more crossovers this year. They're doing a crossover with themselves from the early Tracy Ullman days and with Futurama. So for you Simpsons fans out there.
Well, you know what it is? It's dead because it's been like 25 friggin' years.
Yeah.
It's time to put a fork in that shit. I mean, that's really ridiculous. You know what we're gonna call this? Nerd and Jerk. Dave's Nerd and Jerk.
Nerd and the Jerk news. This
Nerd
segment is brought to you from the ill-fated show Nerd and the Jerk.
Jerk, yeah. So Nerd and Jerk news.
I got a quick question for you, hockey related.
Sure.
We can go out on this. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Does it worry you that a team that we were both thinking was going to be really, really good in Colorado has like they've done no wins in the preseason? Does that mean anything to you?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. And I'll tell you, I'm glad you brought that up because when I went, I told you, I said this on Shot from the Point Live. When I went to the Rangers preseason game, it was very, very simply, there was obviously an agreement with the coach that they, the goalies would only play half. You'd have to do that. I think there's no obligation to do that, by the way. And it was it looked to me, it was obvious to me that Alain Vigneault was seeing who is on the bubble, as Jeff Huffman put it, and who is going to come in when there's eventually an injury. We've also had major injuries. You had Derek Stepan, Datsuk, the entire front line of the Columbus Blue Jackets is gone. Either
the not technically talented Datsuk.
Well, talk about Glenn Healy. Glenn Healy, he's a mucker. He's a grinder. That's he worked hard to stay in the league.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Guy's got the filthiest hands ever.
Naturally gifted at all.
The guy's got the filthiest hands ever. It's unfucking believable. Clearly said that. No, so I think it's just an experiment. I don't think I saw guys in Madison Square Garden that probably won't play there ever again. It was just kind of getting a run. I didn't see NHL quality hockey.
So is it fair to say that the preseason in the NHL probably means the least as far as actual what's going to happen in the regular season than any of the 4 major sports?
No, but it's like it's fighting with baseball, I think.
Well, baseball's
that's true. Maybe. Well, football's got to be the
stuff
biggest one, though, right?
Means a little something there.
Football's got to be the biggest, though, right?
I don't know because look, how it goes in football is first game they play the starters play maybe 2 or 3 series. Second game they'll probably play a quarter to a quarter and a half. Third game they'll play a half, maybe sometimes a little bit more. And the fourth game the starters don't play at all.
I don't think any of it means crap. I guess baseball does kind of. I'm thinking about it because I haven't watched a spring training, God knows how long, because I used to review that stuff on ESPN, and now I could absolutely care less. No, but I really don't. I don't think. First of all, I think the Avs are super talented. I think the worst thing that happened to Avs was losing Paul Stastny, and I think they're that deep that they can handle it, and I think they have that great a coach. So no, So maybe you can laugh at me in a couple months, but I think the Avs are going places. I've been hot in the Avs for well over a year now.
Yeah.
So and I'm
Both
gonna,
have.
I'm
Both
gonna,
have.
I'm gonna continue to stay that way. All right, everybody. Actually, I did this perfectly and I screwed it up. We're going to say goodbye right now. Our little half an hour is up. We hope you come in next time and call us up and do also leave your opinions and like the page and all this other stuff right here on In the Crease of Tommy C, your morning ice. We're doing it every day. Tomorrow, I don't think I can do it, Dave, so we may have to pre-record it. But all you have to do is go to the main Shot from the Point page and look up In the Crease of Tommy C, and it will suddenly appear there at 2 o'clock. So it'll sort of be like it's live anyway. So we're not going to be broadcasting live tomorrow, and me and Dave, worst case scenario, will probably try to knock out one in the morning because I have to pick up my daughter tomorrow. So, and we also we have to get to bed tonight because we have monetized this on the Joe Cronin Show. Den on Dave will be join us on the Joe Cronin Show. Make sure you subscribe right there. Last but not least, tonight's games. Oh yeah, I gotta friggin' open this up to do this. You know what?
While you're opening it up, make sure
this new show is still sort of bumpy and what have you. Okay, tonight 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Washington at Buffalo. Carolina meets the Columbus Blue Jackets minus their front line. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Pittsburgh Penguins take on the Detroit Red Wings, 7:30 Eastern Standard. 8:30 Eastern Standard, the Montreal Canadiens take on the Chicago Blackhawks. And at 9, Arizona Coyotes. I haven't screwed that up once. The Arizona Coyotes. The Arizona Coyotes take on the Edmonton Oilers. That's all I got for you today. I hope you tune in tomorrow. It will be pre-recorded, but I think me and Dave will figure out a way to get it done. Correct, Dave?
Absolutely. Hey,
all
make
right,
sure
brother,
everybody
I love you. I'll see you next time.
Dead on Dave B.
That's right. All right,
I gotta get my Twitter in there, man. I gotta blow up here.
Well, don't be afraid to interrupt me with something like that. I'm not the biggest jerk in the world. Everybody take care. Have a good one.
Peace. Crowbar.